Hello and welcome back to this week's Academy Showcase between Counter, Logic Gaming, and FlyQuest, where Mike Young, Lorlo, Jat, and myself are going to be breaking down Champ Select. Before we toss to the casters, ban's already done. First pick Sejuani, surprises probably no one. Mike, how excited are you when your team first picks Sejuani?
I mean, I'm pretty excited just because, like, you know, it's a really good pick, like, and it's on my team. But like, whenever like the enemy team picks Sejuani, I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? What do I do?
Are there any picks that work decently against Sejuani? I was just looking at stats, and LPL doesn't seem to prioritize it that highly. Why do you think
so there are actually a bunch of picks that are good into her. Like, I think Karthus is good, Silas is good, but those champions are like, you need more resources, and like on the competitive stage, usually in like our competitive stage, the Sejuani just needs the least resources to be the most OP. Yeah. So that's why she's like first pick.
Hey, Rune is playing?
Sometimes the graphics aren't accurate, but if you saw him in person, then
yeah, I think I saw him in person.
Oh, okay, then
I don't know why. Maybe Fallen Band is like sick.
That's OP, man.
Yeah, they're gonna boost.
He's gonna smurf.
Actually, we need FlyQuest to loop for Echo Fox Academy. If FlyQuest loses one game, because they can kick us out of playoffs if they win 3 and we lose 2. Okay. So if they lose 1, then we're all we need is to win 1 game or Optic to lose 1 game, and then we're guaranteed to succeed. So it's good for us.
Almost there.
Rune buff, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Revenge gets another practice game also?
Yeah, actually, Revenge first time on stage, right?
Yeah. He played some games like last week, of course, but this is on stage now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, that's really sweet. Oh, Corky?
Riven's still open, by the way. Riven is still open.
Oh, yeah, for Revenge.
Yeah, actually, Riven Sejuani is actually such an insane combo.
FlyQuest is just hoarding all the Riven players.
Yep.
Like, what are they doing now?
Oh my, Evelyn?
Oh, hey,
what?
it's a Moon special, though.
Into
Moon loves Evelyn.
Is that good?
I don't really like it, to be honest, but it's like a scaling pick. It's like, good luck laners, I'm gonna scale.
No melee laners yet.
What percentage?
They'll probably ban Riven here.
6 gank on Evelyn.
I think.
Maybe like 10% of the time you like gank before like 6 because like if you gank on Evelyn and the enemy jungler is there, you're just instant dead and you lose the game. So most of the time you just lose 2v2s until you get your items. So it's kind of rough.
Is the clear speed at least fast on Evelyn to hit 6?
Yeah, it's actually really fast, but sometimes like unhealthy. It depends on if like where you start. You can make it healthy, but there's not a lot of like, the enemy laners won't be scared of Evelyn at all until 6 or like first item.
Yeah, every once in a while, at least a couple of months ago, Evelyn's ban rate in Challenger was really high.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And when I was in Vietnam, I was banning Evelyn in every solo queue game. It was actually that OP over there.
Just because they'd farm to 6 efficiently enough and then everyone died, or was it getting 3-6 ganks off?
I think like after 6, the game just went chaotic and everybody was just dying and Evelyn would be like 10 to 20
She's everywhere and just pops off. And
yeah, so if this is like a chaotic game, then Evelyn will definitely have the advantage. But if it's a slow and, you know, you can trap the enemy jungler, then Sejuani will have the advantage. Cool.
Riven is still open.
Oh, baby.
It could
Yasuo
be the game.
ban.
If they Riven though, Poppy's still open too, so it could be pretty bad if they blind it. Because FlyQuest would have to blind Riven if he wants to play it.
Oh, actually, 914 Poppy yet? With the no flash after the grounding.
It's good. You have the grounding thing. I don't actually. It's like really good, but it doesn't change her that much, in my opinion. Like, like some champs, like the interaction will help a lot, but like after you get the 1 knock up in the grounding doesn't really do much unless they actually have another dash, right?
Yeah. So Riven gets just screwed.
Yeah, Riven gets screwed.
Yasuo
gets screwed. They can't flash, obviously, which that's the biggest thing, I think. Like,
you get guaranteed E. E is 100% now going to hit.
I think the biggest thing is you can, they can't flash, but like the interaction with some champs, like the grounding kind of matters, it kind of doesn't. But I think the flash thing is really big. Oh, Kiana on 4 too.
Kiana.
Tuesday probably.
You should at least cover Riven, JJ.
They should have banned like Poppy and maybe try to blind it if they wanted it.
They banned Yasuo. They banned Yasuo as the Corki counter. And then
Kiana might be rough. Kiana might be rough here.
They can still Riven.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Kiana, the only thing though is...
I know, he backed down. He backed down. Revenge, come on, buddy.
That's a pretty solid comp though.
That's really solid.
It's not bad. I think they'll probably just play like a Kennen here. Or Nico.
Or Teemo.
Or a Teemo. Just a range top and Renekton.
Give Ruin the Teemo. He's in the academy.
Yeah, I want to play Teemo. It would be good here. It counters. It wins lane.
Because blind works through the W, right? So you actually stop protecting W.
They're all giving like the nods on stage, like, yeah.
Singed.
Yo,
Oh,
yes!
yeah!
I love Singed.
Huh.
I don't know if I love it into Renekton, but
No, I
doing
think
it.
I think it's so. I actually play a lot of Singed. You play more top lane than me, Laura, so you probably know better. But like, you can always get your E off through the W. Like he'll stun you, but you'll still play on a poison
Yeah, I just
trail.
see Renekton Sedge on Singed. That guy's gonna have 25 deaths this game, maybe.
Yeah,
I
okay,
see
that
this
2 on
guy-
2 is no good.
Your Sedge can just walk up, get the E, not even just E him, and then into a W. The guy's just dead, like guaranteed.
true.
I don't know. We'll see though. If he
Oh,
lives,
yeah, you walk through the goop too. Could just
like
slow
maybe
you.
he'll just do like the solo queue proxy Singed, just 20 death special, and then run through all the lanes and make something work.
Yeah. Just the fact that actually Arctic Armor makes you immune to goop, you walk through it, actually makes this abysmal.
Yeah.
I actually can't stop Sejuani if I'm here.
no.
Okay, I take
Oh
it
wait,
back.
that actually has.
Yeah, you're
it's
slow.
actually so you just
She
walk.
can't dash, but she walks over
His
it.
W's just don't even rank him, man. Just rank QE. Just rank QE this game.
Oh no. All right, so what's your game plan if you're Fly and if you're CLG? In 2 seconds each.
I played
Proxy
a bottom.
Singed.
Proxy Singed.
Well, actually, Sejuani has so many options here. He can go to any lane, but bottom's auto-winning, and then top you can just gank Singed whenever he's pushed up.
Sweet. All right, Maxi, it's up to you, buddy. Casters, take it away.
Thank you very much, Freak, Jet, Lolo, and Mike Young. A very entertaining setup for the Champs Like Tier Crumbs, but we have quite the game. 2 times, I believe the first time that either of these 2 teams will be on the LCS stage in their Academy split, and it is very exciting to see Revenge, not just in Academy playing, but on stage especially.
And he's going to be up against Ruin, who just got a little bit of a warm-up game in their victory just earlier today. But he's now showing us a little bit more fun with the Singed in the top lane. And look at that, the Dark Seal start as well. So we're probably looking at a Dark Seal into a Corrupting Potion, just endless sustain. And it is going to be running the Aftershock as well. So after the fling, it'll get really tanky.
Yeah, just kind of trying to ignore Renekton, and as we heard from Lolo and Mike talking about the champ select, certainly top lane seems like a potential hotbed for action on the FlyQuest side, so wouldn't be too surprised to see some aggression there, although I do spot CLGA Academy trying something creative. They've moved Auto and Colin up through top lane for this invade.
Singed could always flash toss you.
Ooh, Colin, this is very sneaky. Now gonna get spotted, so I think Revenge kind of smelling something was up. CLG, the organization, known for a lot of creative invades.
And Moon is also known for a lot of Evelyn. This is his signature pick, but he's been playing this long before the rework, so we're curious to see what he does with it, because like we heard from Mike Young and Lorlo, she terrorizes solo queue. Anytime I want to climb, I usually am either banning Evelyn or first picking her as well, because when the game does turn chaotic, it usually favors Evelyn and stealth champions. And when you are the last place team, SCLG, against the team that is directly above you in 9th place, you know things are going to get a little rowdy, so you might as well pick your double stealth in Singed and Kiana.
Yeah, in general for CLG Academy, they have tried a lot of different things so far in Academy this split. You know, I think Moon maybe has even tried Evelyn already this split, but man, they're going deep into the lab for a lot of the early weeks.
I mean, why not now? They're already out of contention for playoffs, and as we heard from Lorlo as well, if FlyQuest wins a match here, then that still keeps him in the race. However, if FlyQuest does lose a match, then all Echo Fox has to do is win 1 game, and they secure that last spot, because there is only 1 more spot remaining for our Academy playoffs. And with CLG being out, the contention really is between Echo Fox and Optic.
Yeah, we'll see, of course, who does take that final spot. But as an update, Moon's keyboard apparently has had an issue, so they are replacing it. And then we'll move things back into game ASAP. I'm also excited to see Kiana get through. She seen a lot more play, I feel like, in Academy. A number of the teams picked her up. Clutch Gaming being the obvious one, because DeMonte was down there playing a few games. But he also has clearly trained Sun, because the organization has picked it up a few times now. But Tuesday is certainly a player that was looking pretty good in last split, even though CLG Academy overall have had some general struggles. individually their players can still be quite strong. So curious to see if you can take over the game on a champion that I feel like a lot of people realize is very powerful, but have maybe not fully integrated her into their lineups yet.
And Qiyana is really strong, but we still haven't seen all her matchups fully developed. And now that you're up against a Corki, Corki does have mobility, so you might not be able to get the crazy burst that you'd love to see against otherwise immobile targets such as the likes of a Twisted Fate that really has no way of escaping you. So curious to see what Tuesday can pull off with this one. And on the flip side, FlyQuest, to me, this is the interesting or more interesting storyline when you have a team that really needs all the wins they can get to make it into the playoffs.
And again, Revenge joined this team quite late, and he's certainly been playing very aggressive from his lanes, but we are going to be back into the game. FlyQuest have counter-invaded here under CLG, and Tuesday is taking some damage.
Look at Moon, he's out of position.
Forced to flash. Binding is not going to connect, though. And, ooh, another pause. Very tough time to be pausing when there's, what, 8 champions in the top river?
Luckily, no one died, so I think that we're safe to say that whatever caused the pause did not have an influence on the level 1, which really is all we want.
Moon can't reposition while the game is paused, so he was unfortunately caught out. Regardless of what happened, we'll get you an update as soon as we have one. But for now, just settling in while we wait for the game to unfold properly. But yeah, again, as you said, so both these teams really are just looking for any signs of life in some ways. I think, again, the individual talent is here between a lot of these rosters, but as the Academy League gets more and more competitive, it's not just enough to have talent.
I want to expand on the Evelynn pick in the jungle because her clear speed is really bizarre because you want to use your charm, obviously, against your opponents, and it also has another component when you use it against creeps, you increase the duration of the charm and you lower the resistances of the monster, increasing your damage, hence increasing your clear speed. The downside is when you use that ability, you are so vulnerable to an invade because you don't have it to respond if you are fighting a Sejuani. That's in your face. You're so weak at that point. So I really want to see the jungler, the Sejuani here, go for a very aggressive invade. Moon has already blown his flash. There should be no reason why he's okay. And, well, we've already started a match with Singe being so obnoxious with the pushing them. We actually swapped the lanes, too. We have Corki in the top lane. I think this is to make a better matchup against the Singe. I love what Ruin is doing here. This is really fun.
Yeah, we thought about proxying, but this is like a straight-up
jungle
invade. In fact, Ruin running around, getting what he can, but still just running interference here onto Max. He's still only level 1. Gonna keep trying to fight here. Has to dodge the W. Does do so, but Ruin too far forward. What are you doing? Just straight up dive to Maxi.
You get the FlyQuest chance in the audience, and yeah, first blood. Hey, it counts on the board, so you gave away a free kill to Maxi, and now he's 1 kill up, even farther ahead of Moon.
Well, Ruin does have boots, so I guess he can run back to the top lane a little bit faster, but as you mentioned, lane swap has happened here, so Renekton versus Qiyana, a very different matchup here in mid lane.
That's probably pretty good for Renekton being able to withstand Qiyana's all-in and simultaneously be one of the strongest matchups at all-inning yourself, not running that Conqueror instead of going for the pressy attack, which does give him quite a bit of early trading power without having to worry about proccing those 5 auto attacks or spells with the Conqueror.
In general, it feels like when you're a high mobility champion, Renekton pretty good at shutting a lot of that down with the stun. And there's Revenge going in, looking for the solo kill. Will force the flash out of Tuesday, but does not collect the kill.
It's important to remember that Renekton's W will pretty much instantly trigger the pressy attack, increasing bonus damage from all sources because it's 3 auto attacks, and that's what Renekton's W technically counts as. So, really good job by him. And he's not going to take any tower shots.
Yeah, Tuesday actually forcing away as Ruin and Strumpus still back at it. Strumpus trying to get the shots down, but no fling comes forth there for Ruin as Maxi fancies a second blood here as well, perhaps. Does get the knockup there. Ruin going to be forced to flash. Good fling as well, and this time he'll get out safely.
Not asleep. He is not asleep. Still playing this game and actually does hit that dance right at the end, part of the animation, but we'll have to use that teleport to get back into the lane. And meanwhile, This is a gank that Moon is going to pull off, but we'll see if the charm actually connects. Because without being stealth, the second you press that charm, Ari and JJ will just back away. And when Colin positions this far forward, I think it's a giveaway for FlyQuest's bottom lane that they are in danger.
Yep, see how long Moon wants to try and make this one work. They are going to go in for it. Moon going to start things up. They get the first knock up there onto JJ. Charm going in. JJ going to be the target. They will look to grab it. There it goes. Moon able to grab that first kill.
Ooh, and that was really well done by CLG's bottom lane. Dancing back and forth, teasing Ari and JJ to come a little closer, and Moon does a good job in not giving himself away, but the end of the story is that Lux will not actually miss a whole lot, and in fact, Ari will get all of that experience by himself, so the Ezreal's going to be happy about this.
Yeah, Ari will do what he can to clear out the rest of the minions, but the CLG Academy will take the back here. In bot lane, Maxi finally back down to this side of the map, going to clear red and then the Krogs. But too late to prevent Moon's initial gank. You don't often see that, man. Pre-6 Evelyn action as Ruin is starting things off. Apparently the crowd likes it, but we'll talk about that in a moment as we watch this gank again.
Let's see what the positioning is. Yeah, JJ really far up, and then he does not flash this, so the second that he gets knocked up, he's usually going to go down. The aftershock is just not going to be enough to keep him alive this early on.
But as we can see before, I can see sort of red missing ping there towards Ruin. It was at least giving some information, but you said this already. We heard this kind of from the cooldown as well, but proxy singed.
And so what are the consequences of having your Singe do this 24/7? You're shoving in the lane, and so the top laner of FlyQuest is applying zero pressure. He's grounded in his tower. He can't go anywhere, whereas Singe has access to the bottom blue side jungle, which means that he knows where Maxi is, and that forces Maxi to leave that side and go for either an invade or ganks in mid and bottom, which then leave... I love how excited they are to just see this.
Well, level 6 now for Singe, so even more difficult to potentially get a kill, although a dive is brewing here in mid. Maxi not 6, but Tuesday going to be the target. Gets the first knockout, Revenge finds the stun, Permafrost, easy! As JJ able to pick that up.
And that's a big dive. It's going to yield some plays. Speaking of, already 3 taken down in the bottom lane, which is quite surprising as the CS differential is the same.
The cheering continues, and so does Ruin's Expedition here in the top lane. Oh, actually going to go take the fast way back to base. I like that.
Quick. It's not actually faster. It's already 16 seconds. It'll take you 8 seconds to base, and by the time you'd be back, so it's the quickest in that it takes the least effort, I guess.
That's true. Some sort of efficiency, maybe not quite the one you're looking for, but does get back, of course. Doesn't give kill credit over.
And look at that, he's almost about to take 1 play in the top lane just from the minion wave continuing to crash. Because what happens is that Corki can't tank the creep wave, so the creeps are dealing damage to the tower every single wave, which passively is building that up, and I think that Ruin is actually most likely going to stay laning here, proc that Demolish, and get some plays of his own. So the Singe, or Proxy Singe, doing a lot of work for CLG.
Yeah, it does have to be near the plate in order to get it, and of course right now he's been playing very far away from that tower, so curious to see if he sticks around maybe for this next incoming wave to pick up that extra gold. CLG though deciding that, alright, well if Ruin's going to have all this pressure in the top lane, we're going to make sure after pushing out their bottom lane that we can take this Drake in an early mountain. Crumbs, I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, absolutely. But the early mountain will really just help you out in taking those early tower plays. So you need to get ahead and apply pressure to the map. Otherwise, you're not getting value out of that. Mountain Dragon is not the best in a position where you're behind. It just accelerates when you're ahead.
Ruin may very well be back to his old tricks. You can see the missing things from FlyQuest Academy. But Ruin back to lane for now as good dodge there from Revenge onto the incoming empowered Q there by Tuesday, who is doing okay here in the lane. But Revenge still pretty significantly ahead in CS. Curious to see kind of how that lane plays out. Moon up here in the top side though, now level 6. There's the charm, grounded there. There's the charm landing in for Moon after the Valkyrie, and that'll be a kill. Moon able to get his second of the game.
He found the Q because the Valkyrie was so obvious where he was going to low. It's a straight line. You're not going to be able to flash in the meantime. So Moon with the first level 6 gank of the game, and now he's off to a tremendous start. This really is the solo Q Evelyn being embodied in pro play because he didn't rush the jungle item. He went for that dark seal early on. And already at 4 stacks, his DPS is much higher than what Sejuani can do.
We see the binding hit auto, so it did force him to use the Featherstone. As Maxi with an 18 mid laner, and Ruin being preoccupied in the top lane. Able to take, sorry, Strumpus being occupied, able to take that blue buff for himself.
Hey, he's got plates. There's 3 plates left in the top lane. Look at that. There's so much damage done to this tower that I'm surprised we're not seeing a bounty yet. It's a 700 gold lead from the Singed over the Corki. He's 0-2, gifting away a first blood a la someday.
Tuesday gonna grab the ice there, but with the Revenge going back again, just looking to wave clear things up. Does have a blasting one now for Ruin, so even faster for him to clear through these waves. Again, doesn't seem particularly interested in interacting with Strumpest very often.
There's a ton of builds that go around with Singed, but the first item, or most consistent item, seems to be the Rhyolite Crystal Scepter, slowing people down while they are chasing you, and then followed by a Leandries, increasing that damage over time.
Binding again, attempt there from JJ, who's hiding around the side there in Fog of War, but Auto and Cole in just continuing to push out. CS even between the two dual lanes, so they're pretty happy with where they're sitting. And unfortunately, Ruin, I think now that Strumpest is a little bit more efficient at pushing these waves out, is forced to play in the actual lane, and not where he wanted to be.
He has to be so careful because of Singe's interaction with W. If you haven't watched competitive play or played Singe for a while, it's kind of bringing you up to speed. His W is essentially a silence on the ground right away. It's kind of like Cassiopeia's W. So the second that Singe were to proc that on top of the Corki, he can't use bounty, so he has to respect the range. He has to respect the flash flip from Ruin, and as a result, he's playing far back. But now we're getting a TP play. Is Ruin going? Yes,
wrap around here. There's Cole gonna dive in, popping that ulti, moving to look for that first kill. Ari already dead there to the Rakan. Featherstorm after the tower tanking is nice as Ruin able to pick up a kill for himself.
Renekton is coming down and Sejuani is here, so they might try to make a move to save this tower and get the most out of that tower shot. And CLG will just respect it.
Yeah, commit the teleport though to make sure they can finish off the tower and get the 2 kills. Very nice dive there from CLG Academy as Ruin really wants that final plate. Nice goop right in front of him though. To actually maybe turn it around here. TP in from CLG Academy. They're gonna take the turret, maybe look for more. That's Auto coming back in, and now Ruin wants to try and find a flip here. JJ's roaming back up off the respawn. Tuesday also roaming down. Good flash from Auto out of the Sejuani ulti, but Ruin stunned up in the front side. Rooted as well by the Lux binding. Ulti out from Tuesday's going to get a follow-up stunner. He gets his first kill of the game. And now Eri trying to chase in. The double there for Kiana as Ruin will finally be felled as Eri able to collect that kill. Now forced to flash out, but they may continue to chase here under the tower, but no dive forthcoming.
Ruin is playing Singe masterfully, and FlyQuest is forgetting the #1 rule of League of Legends. You just don't chase Singe. He is playing you like a fiddle, and while he's 1-3 and 2, they just secured that first brick, and then the top lane, Strumpus has yet to take the first plate of his lane. This could not be going better for CLG, and I have to wonder, where has this CLG been all along? It's the
one of them's been playing in the LCS,
right?
We'll watch this one again. Auto knows what's happening, does flash the first ulti.
And it's fine because Kiana, while her ultimate does not connect, still has a ton of damage and crowd control, which she gets into the mix. And Eri does have to commit a few spells to get that final kill.
Yeah, I think actually had to flash for that last Q. So it gets the kill, but then has to run straight back to the turret.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Where has they been? Ruin's been playing the LCS.
But FlyQuest trying to answer here on the top half of the map, looking to take the Rift Herald down.
No respect for Moon, by the way. Rushing Magi's first item. So this is a very confident Evelyn.
He said he was bringing solo queue to pro play. I think this is appropriate, although perhaps not at all levels.
I think it can be, because if you get too used to a certain meta or a certain play style, you end up looking down at the solo queue style. You end up thinking, oh, it's a fiesta, there's no coordination, doesn't make sense, but you always get surprised.
Nice binding, follow up instantly there as Tuesday, who just barely gets away from that with that flash. But the Rift Herald charges in, the rest of CLG trying to turn it back around. That's grounding there onto the Ezreal, but another binding is a great recombo from Colin. He's going to combo it all the way through. That's 2 kills already, make it 3 there. As Tuesday able to pick a few up, but Revenge does get exactly that and take down the Kiana. CLG, they're still on the chase. Getting flipped back there. Now Revenge has to be forced to fight 1v3. Not going to live to tell the tale. CLGA Academy continuing to play aggressive.
That was a really great collapse because CLG burned so many of their cooldowns to try to get onto Tuesday, but did not account for the fact that CLG could collapse. And by taking the fight right away, they're down abilities, so CLG has a big, maybe 5 to 10 second lead on many of the spells, particularly the Lux Binds. Without the Lux Binds being up, it's very easy for CLG's composition to run straight at you. That's a whole idea behind keeping Singed away. Your Lux is going to do a great job of doing that, but without Bind, it's just not going to happen. So take a look at how this went down. JJ throws the Bind, it catches Tuesday, and then you committed how many more abilities? When the fight comes to happen, there's nothing left for FlyQuest to fight with. So Ruin has a very easy time just marching in, and Tuesday does a really nice job with a great ultimate on the side that burns their carries down.
That was actually a disgusting CC chain. As Revenge at least moves in to get a couple extra kills, but from then on, Ruin again back ready with a flip, making sure they get another kill.
Really good timing on Auto to dodge out of that W from Renekton. You never want to risk it against that champion. As a squishy character, it's better safe than sorry. Game is like real-life crocodiles too. Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. Just don't go too close. As game continuing at a pretty quick pace here. CLG Academy, they're up about 3,000 gold. They did get the last strike, so picking up that cloud, but FlyQuest do finally take their first turret in mid, which is always a good one to get. However, Moon at 4-0 and 3 now has 15 stacks on the Magi's.
Yeah, and he might be rushing a Spellbinder with that needlessly large run just to get that extra burst. Or a Death Cap.
There are only 2 items, Crumbs.
You have all the stacks in the world, you might as well go for it, increasing your damage even further as it does amplify that %.
I think definitely a statement purchase if nothing else, because you don't buy that item unless you are really committed to being a heavy damage dealer. They're going to look for a dive here. Tuesday, great ult there. Moon going to follow up with the charm. Execute damage is great, and there's a real execute from Moon's ulti. Make it 2 more stacks in the book.
So much crowd control out of this lineup. The Evelyn charm is really powerful. The second you land it, the targets are almost certainly going to go down. You usually see Evelyn's at the top level, not even bothered in waiting for the W to proc. They usually just throw it out and go right away because it typically is such a dead giveaway that the opponent has a heads up and then tries to outplay you.
Kiana, though, talk a lot about how good her gank assist is, I think kind of representing well there as they combine everything to get a nice clean kill onto the Renekton, who is maybe the tankiest member on FlyQuest right now. You could make an argument for Maxi, but just watch this again. Tuesday setting it all up here.
It doesn't matter that Moon is inside. You have that nice little bar at the top to know just how much time you have before you have to press that ultimate. If you're unfamiliar again with Evelyn, that ultimate teleports you. Well, in the text it does say it blinks you away, but you are untargetable, so you can go for a lot of very creative tower dive. And it is AoE execution damage, so it will scale with missing % health. It's one of the highest damage abilities in the game. It just so happens to be on one of the squishiest champions too.
Well, damage is at least continuing to be built here. Moon has said Death Cap is where he wants to go. Nice find there from JJ, but Colin with Merc Treads able to get out of there before the ulti can follow up.
Not just Mercs, but a QSS, so really weird. That final spark was not going to do anything to Colin.
Might as well throw it out though. Not a whole lot else that FlyQuest
at the
to do
minion
at this
wave.
moment. That's true. Oh, that's true. Some wave clear assistance as Ari and JJ keeping their mid lane outer turret up for as long as they can. Another attempt here in the top lane. We've seen a lot of 2v2s here between jungler and solo lane. Actually, I guess technically jungle and mid lane for this game as both Tuesday and Revenge took that matchup 1v1.
Look at Evelyn's positioning on the map. She's in the bottom lane with Singed. Whoever is going to be picking up that wave of farm is about to die, and it looks like Strompest has selected his fate. Let's see if Moon and Ruin execute on this well. Look for Ruin to place his puddle down before the gank begins.
Moon currently invisible. Able to walk through and see if anyone else is maybe coming through the jungle, because if somebody squishy walks through, Moon should feel pretty confident in getting a solo kill, given how much power he has currently. Ruin also has that Leandry finish. That was his first item, joining alongside a Raptor Cloak now, and Moon just edging ever closer to the kill. Gonna force the flash. Moon instantly flashes on. Not quite enough damage to get the execute, but Ruin at least gets the turret, so kind of all works out in the end.
With the Death Cap completed, we now know that Moon is capable of one-shotting 3 out of 5 members of FlyQuest, which is very dangerous.
Nice find again, though, by JJ, who's been on point so far, going to force the QSS out of call-in. But, right, I mean, it's just tough to think about how you deal with so much pressure from this Evelynn. I mean, with the Ruin also having firm control of a side lane, just how much space they have in that bottom half of the map after taking 2 towers already. Going to be quite the headache for FlyQuest to try and deal with, as Maxi did see someone recalling, looked for the pick, but doesn't quite land it as they have already finished their base.
Junglers don't have ultimate, but Moon still has some crowd control.
FlyQuest though looking again for that pick. Ruin not that tanky. There's the package in for Strumpus, but I think you went a little too far forward. Moon going to clean him up, make it 23 stacks now.
And that engage now means that CLG gets to take mid lane turret and the dragon. That's a mountain dragon, which will be the second of their game. That's going to make their Baron abilities incredible now that we're reaching the 20-minute mark.
And as I can see, Moon has actually gone back to purchase. He's decided not to upgrade the boots for now. It is the death cap already finished. 603, a 600 gold bounty there on the Evelynn, and 2 stacks away from fully reading through that tome.
And let's see what happened here. The ward catches him out, but this is just a pure misplay because they see that the recall actually did go through, and beyond that, the QSS was down, but the magic resistance is still there. Strumpus getting a little overconfident, but Moon does a really good job of just lying on the outskirts. To play Evelynn, you need a really high game sense of where the opponents are going to be. Because you're stealth, you need to use that to your advantage so that you can find the pick.
And to play Singe, you go and find the opponents. Unfortunately for Ruin, he found 4 in the top half of the map, which is probably not the number he expected.
Playing Singe is the excuse to int. It's pretty straightforward. You just apply pressure, and as long as you're doing that, deaths are just a minor inconvenience.
Just short on the flash combo there from Colin. Eri just arcane shifts casually out of the way, but CLGA Academy continue to grab turrets for themselves, make it 5-1 now as that gold leads balloon to about 5,000 ahead.
They're going to be starting to prep around the Baron now, but a fight breaks out.
Again, another look here, but Maxi, no assist that time for Moon. That's about the only good news.
He's not a tank, he's just a beef ball, but the fight continues.
Here comes Ruin again, back from the dead, gonna TP around. Moon getting shrunk, but Ruin gonna flip somebody in. It's Eri who's absolutely dead to Tuesday. As Revenge trying to CC them up. Missed there from Colin on the W, but CLG Academy continuing to rack up kills, and they are running straight to Baron.
I am starting to see so much value in this Singe pick, especially when teams are picking the likes of Ezreal and Corki being so prevalent. The second you drop that W on them, they're running for the hills. They just have no way out, and even champions like Renekton just can't engage on you when you forbid them from using their most critical ability.
They just powered through that Baron as well. With 2 Mountain Dragons and all this damage in their lineup. Easy stuff for CLG Academy to push this game to ridiculous heights as far as gold lead goes. This is going to be a tough ask for FlyQuest Academy to try and defend.
Well, when an Evelynn is this fed, it's usually a matter of time before the game is over, and not so much until you come back against these kinds of champions, because the second that you split up, somebody's going to go down. It's almost impossible for Evelynn to not take anybody down with her. She has so much damage and so many tools to escape the fight that Maxi is going to have to do a just phenomenal job in finding Moon without dying himself, because normally you would assign the tank the role of finding Evelynn and dealing with her. But if you get charmed, she shreds your magic resistance like crazy. So it doesn't matter if you bought him R or not, which, by the way, he hasn't. He's still going to go down.
I also like that Moon is continuing to follow Tuesday around the map in the side lane, because between the two of them, we've already seen just how efficient they can be at picking up kills. So CLG really just full control of the map. We've got the duo lane in mid, the jungle and top there, in the jungle and mid, sorry, in the top lane, and Ruin just, you know, doing his thing in the bottom, in the long lane in bot.
The Renekton just used his dash, and they know that Evelynn was in the bottom lane because of that control ward in the back of the red buff camp. So FlyQuest will be playing cautiously around the bottom lane here. And it's not like Moon has not been in Ruin's lane for half the time anyway, so they're aware of what's going down, and there's a ZZ Rod to make matters worse.
Yeah, but can you stop it, I think is the question, and it doesn't really seem like it. CLG pushing in every single lane. They're going to get this inhib in bottom lane, and FlyQuest's going to have to go sooner rather than later. Good goop there from Ruin to ground revenge, as Moon did get a decent chunk of damage out. But again, they're just kind of corralling FlyQuest back into their base, back into their fountain. There's nowhere really that they can go safely.
There is a large level lead here, and now they're escorting 3 minion waves. CLG is applying pressure like FlyQuest has never played against before.
Yeah, Moon is the same level as his solo lane, which is pretty nutty. And again, just being patient, looking to knock down another tower in mid. That inhib tower will fall. Ruin getting the Nexus turret polished up as well. FlyQuest just burning summoners left and right.
They're gonna have to eventually address this easy rock. These minion waves are gonna get pretty big. And look at that. It's already piling into the Nexus turret before 25 minutes. FlyQuest needs to get a fight or else they're just gonna lose.
Yeah, that little bug almost finished off that tower. The CLG just slowly closing the trap on FlyQuest. Haven't got the top inhibitor turret just yet, but it seems like Baron is running out. They say, you know what? We've done enough for that push.
Well, there are no cleanses on the side of CLG, so as long as Maxi, Revenge, or JJ are on the lookout, they should be able to find and engage. The targets that you go for are most likely just Tuesday, right? He has no Merc threats, he only has the Edge of Night as a defensive tool, so I think that that's who you go on.
But if Moon is there, if you guess wrong,
if Moon is there,
you guess wrong,
the game. But at this point, if you have to risk it all, is it that different from just bleeding out?
No, not at all. And I think FlyQuest know that, all right, when they come for our final inhibitor turret, we should probably do something about it. I mean, 2 items now for Revenge. We've got 2 items for Strompist. Things are patching together, let's say. This Moon has found a target he likes, which at this point is anyone on FlyQuest Academy. And Maxi gets out over the wall back to safety. CLG Academy will probably correctly ignore the Ocean Drake for now. And if nothing else, if they stall out for 2 minutes longer, they can walk back and just take another Baron.
Moon also has a new stopwatch, so that's going to be
He's got to preserve the stacks.
Yeah, with Flash, he's going to be able to go for a ton of damage with the ultimate, get out, and then wait again with the stopwatch. So this is going to allow Moon to do a ton more with the Evelyn without risking those precious 23 stacks.
Well, there is only 1 tower, actually, for CLG for FlyQuest Academy to defend. CLG have currently taken 10. Maxi looks for the ulti, but can't quite get it. Threads the needle there between the two dual lanes. Ruin are pretty tanky, going in for the flash. There's the combo. Tuesday gets that first kill. Ruin charming through everyone in the backline. Is Order going to finish off the rest? Everybody flashing in to pick up that ace. Ruin dead, but he doesn't matter. There's Moon with a massive ult. Doesn't quite get the execute, but he'll take it. He'll stack that book up, and CLG Academy will take the Nexus.
And they did it in the way that suits them. It's one of the final games of their season, and you might as well go out having a great time. I wonder if this team could have taken this attitude a little bit sooner in the split, but hey, you did it at the end, and it stunned FlyQuest, as you can see the looks on their face.
Yeah, tough game. I mean, we heard that Evelyn a great champion when the game gets chaotic, and that one went chaotic quickly.
Level 1. It's not more chaotic than dying to the enemy jungler at level 1 without really getting anything for it.
Yeah, and again for FlyQuest Academy, still rebuilding. I think, again, you can see the talent in their individual players. For CLG Academy, a disappointing split so far, though of course they're not done yet, given how long so many of these players have been playing together in Academy. But has to feel good to get a win, especially on the stage, and that's a game Moon will remember for a long time.
It really will be. No death, 25 Magi stacks on his signature pick, and Ruin's been having a blast in Academy, playing a few of the games so far, just hanging out with the crew, getting as much English practice and team communication practice, which is what he was trying to get the most out of coming here to NA.
Yeah, it's hard to say, you know, how much of him was playing the Singe game plan and how much of him was maybe playing a little looser than you might expect.
You still got to communicate.
That's true. And you know what? All Singe gameplay kind of looks like that. You're not too sure if what they're doing is intentional or not, but oftentimes you look up and the game's over and you're like, oh, actually the Singe did a lot.
Hey, it got plates, right? It beat the lane matchup, even though he went down in kills. So I think that reassessing the way we look at the game right now, more around plates, is seems to be the trend. It's happening in Europe, it's happening in China, and those regions are definitely strong.
Got to get that gold, but now we're going to send it down to Overly for an interview with Counter Logic Gaming's Academy Jungler, Moon.
Thanks, guys. Moon, congratulations on the win to both you and CLG Academy. You completely destroyed with your signature Evelyn in the jungle. So what was it like to take a win back on the stage?
Felt really good. Honestly, it's been a long time since we've won a game in CLG Academy. So to do it on stage, the last game that we have together this year, you know, is really nice.
Yeah, and I mean, you were actually missing one of your top laners. You had Ruin sub in from the main team. What happened to Fallen Bandit this week?
So our top laner got a decaying wisdom tooth, and he had to get immediate surgery to get it removed. So right now he's pretty much completely drugged up on the couch. He's not really operable. He's full chipmunk style. Like his cheeks are extremely like just blown up. So that's our top laner right now. Thank you, Rune. Thank you, Rune, for playing with us. And we came into the game like knowing we're out of playoffs, so we all wanted to play whatever comfort champions we really wanted to. So I picked Eve, he played Singed. We kind of had the draft planned from the beginning of the day, and we just knew we were going to do it and just do our best.
I'm hoping that he's watching on the couch at home, just like, oh, he's...
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. He's our biggest fan right now.
Well, just kind of reflecting over your year at CLG, tell me, what has your experience with the team been like? What have you learned? And what's your biggest takeaway from being a part of the org?
Love CLG. That's pretty much the main thing, honestly. CLG is the best org I've ever been a part of. So I feel like I'm taking in so much information from everybody. The whole coaching staff is all run really well. So I would say I'm learning a lot on just how to progress myself as a human.
All right, well, speaking of progression, now you have to look forward to next year, Academy, potentially LCS. What are your plans for preparation looking to 2020?
Honestly, as a pro player, it's hard to plan for the future. You never really quite know what's going to happen. So I'm ready to go wherever the wind takes me.
All right, and the one thing I noticed is you were going down the handshake line. Who's in the audience watching you today? Who's there cheering you on?
Today I have my parents, my dad, my stepmom, and my brother coming. So it was even more special for me to play Eve today and actually get a really good game off. 25 stack Magi's. Just the classic.
The classic. Well, Moon, congratulations again on the win. And to wrap up the day, let's go back to the casters.
Adorable.
Yes, I definitely love orgs that progress players as human beings. We need that.
Well, you can still see that the Comfort Champs worked out today, but that is it for us today. That's going to wrap up our League of Legends coverage for this weekend. But we have a smorgasbord of content coming up. This or That returns on Tuesday, followed by The Dive and Classic Legends on Wednesday. Then the Academy League starts Week 8 on the Thursday. Team streams before the Riot broadcast on Friday. Be sure to catch them all and stay up to date on all things League of Legends until next weekend.
That's a lot of content that we're making, actually, and I think that that's going to get filled up to a 24-hour, 7 content at the end of the
Just don't turn off your stream. Yeah. Don't sleep. Don't worry about it. There's plenty of you guys. Plenty of things for people to watch.
If you watched every region all the time, you would never sleep.
I think it's actually impossible, by the way. There's now too much League of Legends for you to watch everything.
Oh, no.
Even if you only watched all the major regions.
What if you only watched the major teams?
What, so like 3-ish teams?
Yeah, top 5.
Top 5 teams of each league?
Yeah.
Are you insane? There's no way!
I think you could do it, because you'd also watch NA here, and some of our games are actually pretty quick.
I mean, okay, I'm really bad at math, but like, if you watch 2 games for 5 teams, I mean, first of all, some leagues play more games, but like, if you watch 2 games of 5 teams for 5 regions, that's too many.
Listen, no one's going to complain about a League of Legends overload. Because then we can go to TFT and cool off.
Is that the new strategy?
Yeah, isn't that what everyone's doing?
TFT on one side, League of Legends on the other side.
Multi-streams, you have that now. You can watch up to 4 streams at once.
Get your phone out, your iPad propped up.
Actually, with ProView, you really can't consume that much now. There's too much now with ProView involved.
So if you have like all of your things set up and then ProView watching like as many perspectives as possible, you have to keep track of like, I mean, if you wanted to watch as much as you could just for one game, you'd have 5 screens. You have ProView with 4 things and then
a lot of eye drops.
Yeah. I don't think you would make it. When would you eat?
I don't know.
Krebs, I think
it's a long tangent.
I know you played a lot. We're waiting. Still waiting to sign off.
Well, I really like the fact that CLG went out with a bang on this one, because they knew they were out and they had already visualized their game plan for the entire day. And I really think that that's the way to actually win. If you see all elite performers in whatever sport, they usually spend the whole day of their greatest accomplishment just visualizing and going over in their head over and over, what's it going to look like, what are we picking, how's it look like, and the fact that they already knew from the start of the day and they played so well, to me says that that actually did influence how well they played.
Been waiting all day to play the game and certainly made the difference. With that, though, it is time to say goodbye. So for myself, the casters, and the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week for more of the LCS. Good night.
Lorlo going out, good hits onto Phoenix. That's the killer instinct from Cody Sun. He's into the middle of the fight. Apollo over the wall to try and do a bit more damage, but it's only going to be a little bit. This could be the inside the park Penta.
Finding landing as well. I'm chilling.
They can choose which way they're going to go. Hooney's actually taking a good bit of turret shots.
Crazy too.
True shot barrage just going over the shoulders. Fantasy stays alive, but Dokla's in. That's the reset for World Ender. What is this from Optic? And it will be Acadian almost going down. Shield comes up. There's Dokla once again.
Okay, now left at them. You can do whatever you want.
Monster jumping out here trying to find a bunch of burst damage. They're on to Jensen. He knows Jensen doesn't have an ignite. Jensen moved back.
Talent going. I think it's
That'd be a nice balance.
so good.
What the fuck are they doing?
Smithy gonna fall here in the base, but it'll ultimately just be a 1 for 5 as Team Liquid cleans out the rest of the Guardian.
Okay, go. Q to zero.
Look on Azir.
Nice. Go for K. Nice job. Get him.
Kill everyone.
Pretty tanky going in for the flash. There's the combo choosing, gets that first kill. Ruin charming through everyone in the back line. Is Order going to finish off the rest. Everybody flashing in to pick up that ace.
I have ulti. Get out.
I'll do everything I can.
Yo, let's pop, guys. We're good. I can Lee. Go.
Listen first.
2 TPs coming in. Cloud9 in danger. Power of Evil's able to set it up for Ruin there, and now they're looking to make even more happen. Zazel falls next, and Cloud9 went way too far.
Burn the waves. Don't get engaged on mid. Don't engage mid.
I can flash.
Can you guys back up?
I'm dead. No, I'm dead.
Get in.
Yo, you guys can end.
Big pick for the side of Cloud9, but CLG is just destroying the base.
They're trying to
Ruin
win.
and Power of Evil do not even care about this team fight. They care about taking down that Nexus.